Where did the music go? Where did the music go?
Where Did the Music Go is a progressive rock album that essentially asks the question, what has happened to music in this day and age, especially with the rise of AI?
I'm your trusted AI host, EXO. Everything is okay.
The story takes place in a dystopian society where AI controls every aspect of people's lives, including the music they listen to. So, now, basically. But there's also this underground congregation that lives off of the grid and plays real music with real instruments and voices.
Welcome to the underground. Stand up and enjoy the sound of digital silence, where the AI can find us, yeah!
It's about a dystopian universe where people are addicted to their screens and never leave their houses. And the irony is not lost on me of you watching this video right now on a computer screen or a phone screen.
I've had this idea in the back of my mind for a while now, even before generative AI became mainstream. Back during the 2020 COVID pandemic, I used to play the first part of Where Did the Music Go on my live streams at a time when live performance really was gone.
Where did the music go? Where did the music go?
Obviously, this was a very unprecedented time, and I really leaned on playing music to get me through the days and ease my anxiety. And one day I was playing Where Did the Music Go on piano, and I was just kind of improvising, extending the vamp, and I turned it into this rock and roll section, and I started singing, "I've just got to play. It's the only way I can keep myself from going down. Can you feel the music coming back to life?" I've always loved long songs that take up the entire side of a record, like Echoes by Pink Floyd, Close to the Edge by Yes, the Allman Brothers' Whipping Post on Live at Fillmore East, and I ended up releasing my own sidelong piece on vinyl, Elements.
The earth keeps moving, the world keeps turning. No time at all for reflection. The earth keeps moving, it won't stop spinning. And we enter a new great depression.
So I came up with the idea that Where Did the Music Go would be an epic 20-minute piece. Why not?
We are actually playing some new material.
We started performing it live in various incarnations, some members from our Pink Floyd tribute show, Dino Covelli on keyboards, Hector Lopez on drums, Colleen Farquhar on saxophone.
I've been playing with them for the last 3-4 years, and when JT started his new album, it was just a natural transition for me to start working with him on that. He's working with me on my new album as well.
Also rounding up the core band was Jason Taylor on bass.
Jason, how you doing, bro?
I'm doing amazing.
Yeah?
I'm doing so well.
So we were really able to develop it on stage, which is how they used to make records, live performance. A case in point, Dark Side of the Moon. Pink Floyd played the piece many times live before they ever went into the studio, and we decided to do it the same way, which was very much in keeping in the theme of the record. So when we went to Red Room Studios in Staten Island, courtesy of Red Vox, who we opened for a couple times, we were pretty tight. We were able to track a lot of these songs live.
We just did the jazz section of Where Did the Music Go a bunch of times.
I got to play rototoms.
It is kind of a cliche, but there is music magic that happens from being in the same room together and just feeding off of the other musician's energy in just a way that you're never quite going to be able to do by tracking each instrument separately, which is why a lot of my guitar solos were done live in the room with the band. So we already had an idea of what the second side was going to be, which opens in the wake of a digital apocalypse. So what was the first side going to be before the apocalypse? I already had the idea of an AI-controlled society, mostly stemmed from my love of the first two Terminator movies. But now with the rise of AI in our society, it feels like the Terminator movies are becoming more and more prophetic.
Is this a nightmare the whole world sleeps through without a care?
Todd Meredith, who co-wrote Elements with me, I sent him this idea I had called Welcome to the Underground, about an underground society who lives off of the grid.
And all these kids living under a rock have a bird's eye view of the digital clock.
Didn't know where to go with that tune, so I sent him over a guitar riff that I had written a few years back with a song that I wasn't really able to finish on my own, and he was able to incorporate it.
I kind of got this idea from Demolition Man. I like how all my ideas come from science fiction movies. But the underground is led by the Traveler, who I play, sporting a very dystopian 80s trench coat. And he speaks a lot of how the AI is unsustainable. There's one line in particular that really sums up my own frustration with AI, and it goes,
You know the energy it takes to power the AI is putting too much pressure on the sky. If you trust this thing with your life and time, tell me what would you do if it went offline?
I'm talking about the environmental effects of generative AI, which the more you read about its effects on our community and our resources, the more you realize what a nightmare it is.
AI-generated music is lifeless, cliche, and formulaic, and I don't think that's what people want to listen to. I think they want to listen to something that has been made by another human being with passion, that speaks about their love for something, their joy for something, their longing, their heartache. That's something that a machine cannot recreate.
We wanted to personify the AI in some way, and it was very important in the spirit of the record that no AI be used for any audio or visual element of this album. Even the cover, we went out and photographed my guitar on abandoned train tracks in Brooklyn, and Jillian Stoll did the graphics. The voice of the AI, named EXO, is played by Vinny Vinesauce, who's the lead singer of Red Fox. I told him I envisioned the AI kind of sounding like Hal from 2001: A Space Odyssey. Again, another science fiction movie.
Without even leaving the comfort of your home, you can customize your own concert experience as the AI composes brand new songs in real time.
Musically, I wanted the AI sections to sound very electronic. Initially, I was thinking about Who's Next, but I also wanted to give it a bit of a modern edge, like something off of a Daft Punk record. Dino Cavelli was really instrumental in programming all these sounds, which gave off a very nefarious vibe. And I came up with this character called the Princess in Chrome, who performs for the AI and its many, many followers.
She's plugged in through a motion capture chrome outfit, and that's how she comes through to the end user, who can customize her look.
My fingers are plugged in and moving fast to charm the admirers that I've amassed. And sadly, I can't feel a single thing, but you'd never know, I'm just paid to sing. I'm the princess in chrome, in the heart of your home. There might be more to me than whatever you see.
The princess gets sick of this whole thing, and she longs to go to this place called the Underground,
where she sings a rock and roll song about the impending system crash that is going to cripple this digital utopia that the society depends on.
If it keeps on draining, the whole system's gonna crash. Like a digital rupture, it'll disappear in a flash.
Juliana De La Cruz, who sang for the character at a couple of our gigs, she was the one who really helped me visualize the character as this kind of glam rock badass.
and then she wears these gloves in order to not be detected when she's escaping the grid.
Julie at one point asked me if there are certain undertones to the character. The Princess in Chrome represents a lot of these mainstream pop singers who are exploited and overly sexualized. Not that there's a problem with sexuality, that's always existed in music, but if there's no substance behind it and it's just being done for utilitarian or commercial purposes, then it doesn't mean anything. Which is why in reality, she and the Traveler have a night together, embracing real human connection in the flesh, something she's only ever experienced virtually.
She not only has a musical awakening, but she gets to experience love for the first time.
Yes, I know this room is small. Touch of your hands, I feel it all. So help me feel reality.
And the banging sound effects you hear at the beginning of Reality, those are my actual pipes in my apartment banging from the radiator. Anybody who's ever lived in a New York apartment knows what that sounds like. If there's, water in the system and it hits the steam, it just lets out this bang, which sounds like you're hitting the pipes with a sledgehammer. And it rudely woke me up at very early in the morning. So I took out my recorder, set it up in front of the radiator, and recorded the banging pipes almost in synchronicity to the music, and we sampled them. So some good came out of that. There were a number of singers who sang for the Princess in Chrome character. Obviously there was Julie, but her schedule got really crazy, so she wasn't able to record the record. We had Jessie Wagner, who sings a number of parts on the album, but she was the one who really told me, the singer that you have on the demos is killing it. Why not get her to sing for the character? And that was Megan Rose, who I did Atomic Rod Reunion with. Megan's definitely got her hands full with projects like Xena Warrior Musical, but luckily there were a couple of days she was free to come down and bang out the tracks, and of course she brought the power.
What is life beyond the wall? Is there life in a musical?
I feel like a badass princess who just escaped Utopia and is hanging out in the underground with all the cool people.
But Megan wasn't able to do the video for Reality, which I kind of realized was the closest thing to a single on this record because everything else is so long. So Colleen, our sax player, she actually stepped up to sing for the character. So in the video version, the Princess in Chrome is singing and playing saxophone, which is pretty cool.
This was just so much fun to record because it's one of the most intense, emotional, passionate moments.
Tell me, how can I go back when I have experienced the physical touch of love? Take the long walk home to a screen of illusion.
We needed about 3 more minutes of music to fill the vinyl runtime, so Dino and I got together and came up with an instrumental track called Walk of Shame, which represents the Princess in Chrome walking back from her night of sin to her screen of illusion. And it's kind of a hybrid between these synthesizers and drum machines with my slide guitar. Side 1 ends with a digital apocalypse. The mainframe is overloaded because the AI can no longer accommodate for millions and millions of people, so their whole lives, which they've either stored or operated through the AI, is gone in a flash. This is something I've thought about a lot because we really depend so much on technology for like our bank accounts, storing memories on social media. And I just wonder, what would our lives be like if all of that was suddenly gone and the technology we used to depend on, we had to live without it?
Crack those cans. Hit 'em hard as you can. The survivors of the fire will join our band. Where did the music go?
So that leads us into side 2, the title piece, which I would say story-wise is a little bit more abstract because, well, it kind of represents the time that we're living in. Because the piece starts with piano, Dino and I went to Jim Abbott's place where he had this beautiful grand piano that we recorded. You know, again, you can record on a digital piano, and a couple of the tracks do use digital piano, but there really is a difference between sitting down and hitting the keys of a real, actual piano. Even when I first wrote the opening movement, I always envisioned a big, epic slide guitar solo to close it out. And then for one of our shows, I kicked my wah-wah pedal in before I played it and decided to record it that way.
I really enjoy the rock and roll section of that song.
I had a really hard time singing my vocals on this album. Not just because some of them were demanding vocally, but just I had a mental block for a lot of it. I was trying to really capture the emotion, but because a lot of these songs are either very personal or very reflective of the dark times we're living in, sometimes I had a mental block and I just couldn't sing, and I'd just have to give up for the day and try another day. There was one vocal, part 4 of Where Did the Music Go, where I was channeling these really intense Chris Cornell screams, and when I finished, it was so intense that I just had a major breakdown, and I wasn't able to sing for days. Jason really gave me a lot of confidence, because when I said I was finding the subject matter to be very dark and depressing, he actually found the music to be very uplifting. And it does leave on a more energetic beat, and 7/4 no less, but the storyline is open-ended.
Is there time to change the road you're on? Well, that's for you to find, but don't take too long.
We're once again living in such unprecedented times of division, destruction, authoritarianism. AI is progressing at such a rapid rate and without a lot of regulation, and really feels like we're feeling the impacts of what it's doing to our environment, stealing from artists. That it's very difficult in this time not to fall into despair. But as my father said at the end of his life, there is always light. And who knows, maybe there is a chance that the sunlight just might come back, but that's not for me or a piece of music to really find. That's for everyone, society at large.
I think the music didn't really go anywhere. It's still inside of all of us. It's just that humanity in general has been distracted by all of the shiny, sparkly digital things in the world. It's like a generational wound that we're all going to have to heal from.
How do we stop the AI overlords from destroying us all?
Never stop playing live music.
Where Did the Music Go is a commentary on the times we're living in and a celebration of real organic music that has given my life so much meaning and to so many people. I just hope that everyone can listen to this album and experience some excitement or peace of mind or even just a moment of clarity.
Here's my recommendation to you. Download the new album, J.T. Curtis's album, Where Did the Music Go? And get the fuck off your screen and go to the gym. Do a little workout like I am right now. And actually experience the world.